bom dia a todos e a todas. Good morning. Guten Morgen. Is it good? No, no. My accent is good. Very good. Good morning. Just
it was not so bad. Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Flavia is the Italian part.
We are
of
so
the
international here.
Yeah.
I can do it in different accents in Brazil, like bom dia. Não, bom dia é português de Portugal, não. Gente, eu não sei. Alguém quer falar um bom dia do Nordeste, que eu acho lindo?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can I start, Safo? Yes? Okay. So, bom dia a todos e a todas. I will do it in English because we have here very special guests that don't speak Portuguese, Katrin Merkel and Flávia Citino from DFFB, who are going to join us this morning and talk about CRI's program. And I also would like to thank you for the participation of Cassiano Prado, who is here with us. He's part of our Paradiso network, and he's now in this edition of CRI, so he will explain also, share his experience with us. So the idea of this conversation, of this chat, is that we get to know more about the DFFB and the CRI's program. So we have Katrin talking to us, explain about the school and the program, why apply, why not to apply, timeline, the deadline of application, costs, so that she can do a short presentation about everything. And then we move to Cassiano, who will share with us his experience, why he decided to apply, what are his feelings about the program, and why do you think it would benefit other Brazilian professionals? And then we go to open questions, like a Q&A, very informal. So if you want to do any questions, just raise your hand, and then we give you the mic. If you prefer to write, it's okay as well. So just to start with our support, Projeto Paradiso opened the call for the first time for CRIs this year, for this edition. And our support offers 100% of the fee, 4,500 euros, and 10,000 reais, around $2,000 for the air ticket for people to travel to Germany. All other costs in terms of living in Berlin, meals and everything you need is under participant responsibility. If there is a Brazilian selected, because it's not a guarantee, they receive a lot of applications for different parts of Europe mainly, so Katrin will also talk about that. If there is a Brazilian selected, we are going to support. If there is not, there is no scholarship. If there are two, not sure if it's possible, Katrin, but if by any chance you receive two amazing applications and they decided to select it, you have to choose which one will receive our support, because Projeto Paradiso doesn't make the choice. The selection, we don't select. So I think this is a very, how do I say, the main point information I would like to start with. So now we can go to Katrin. Katrin, again, thank you very much for joining us. Katrin is head of studies of CRI's program. And if you can, share with us everything you can about the EFFB and CRI's program. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you for having me and us. Yes, I'm running the program Serial Eyes. I have with me Flávia Citrinho. She's our program manager, so she's my left and right hand and my brain, and is organizing everything. And yes, so DFFB, which means German Film and Television Academy, is located in Berlin. It's a very prestigious and very good film school, but really more classical film school. And the Serial Eyes is a program running now in the 11th year, which is located at DFFB. but are not part of the curriculum of the academy. So we are a program, postgraduate program, and it's running every year from September to May. And we have every year 12 participants from all over Europe / the world. So really this year we really opened the wings from India to Brazil to Canada. So in the past it was mainly European writers from really all over the place, and because the program it's in English. And what we are teaching is mainly our focus is on this collaborative writing in TV series and following the techniques of the US Writers' Room. But we are growing because in Europe, so we don't have the same market situation like in the US. So we are adapting this US Writers' Room model in very different manners, but our focus is really on learning the skills and the techniques and working together, developing together. And every participant is writing own series project with a full pilot script, plus a second series project developed with other classmates, 2 or 3 groups. They are working together on this. And then in the end, we have a big public pitch session where we invite producers and streamers, networks to listen to our pitches. We are doing 2 study trips to London and to Lille in France. There's one of the most important series festivals in Europe happening, Series Mania. It's in March. We will be there in 2 weeks. We are already excited to get there. And so this is basically the program. We have so all our tutors are out of the industry, so we are not, it's not an academic program. It's really was developed and is run out of the industry, out of the needs of the industry. So all our tutors are showrunners, producers, development executives, writers. They are really, this is really the focus of our training to be ready for the market after the program. And this is why we ask for some writing experience. So we are not teaching writing. So we expect our students to be writers, to have already some credits, best case, because we really are looking for people who have already professional experience, because we can start from the scratch teaching writing, teaching dramaturgy. So we expect people to have this knowledge and some writing experience.
In terms of writing experience, you informed that at least 1 year or at least 3 years of experience as a writer. What's the... Go ahead.
No, and 1 credit. So this could be, so in best case, there are writing credits for TV series, whatever format, if it's daily or web series or prime time or so whatever. But we also like Cassiano, he has also experience in advertisement. So it's really people from the industry who have professional experience in different fields. It don't has to be serial writing experience. So we had, in the past, we had filmmakers too, who were eating towards, but really with a very profound understanding of storytelling and dramaturgy. Sure, we had directors, we had writing producers, but this is our experience that those participants who have this level of experience, they get the most out of the program because the pace is really high. So maybe Cassiano can talk about that. So so it's really, it's a tough pace because this is what the industry is asking for. So it's not this, we are talking and thinking for a month about an idea. It's really, if there is a green light, then there has to be, there's a delivery schedule, there's a deadline, and then you have to deliver. And this is what is really part of the training too. You know, to get used to have this pace, have always deadlines, have always different things to handle, because it's not this writing experience, me and myself and my film, I'm sitting in my room, nobody's disturbing me, somebody brings food. So the TV life is different.
And would you say that during the program, during the training, the professional has to be exclusively focused on serial eyes, or if he or she are working in another thing, he could mix both, or no, exclusively studying them?
No, so it's really hard. So this is not the idea. It's really full time, and even though we changed our teaching times a little because the program was invented by white men in their best age who had somebody at home who cared for the kids, but this is changing. So we have more and more participants who have family, and some of them they already lived in Berlin. Some of them moved with their whole family for half a year. So we had this last year. So for people with kids, it's so the day in Germany ends at 4 o'clock. You have to pick your kids. So we teach from 9 to 4, but nevertheless, it's really close to impossible to do a full job or writing job because maybe here and there a day, something that is maybe not so demanding, but I always tell the people it's really the program, it's full time, and we are not joking about that. It's a lot.
Okay, Katrin, thank you. So I think now we could hear Cassiano and his experience, everything that you can share that you believe could be useful for others here interested in the program. Cassiano, thank you for joining us.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for making this happen. I'm very happy that this can be extended to more people because, yeah, this program for me is incredible. It's really like a great experience, but I guess it's incredible because it's also happening on the right time of my life. As Katrin said, it's super intense, and if I didn't have like all the time I had to dedicate to it, I would be more tired than I am, which is like, I don't know, it's impossible. Yeah, it's super full time. It happens in kind of workshop modules. So it's, as Katrin said, it's not academic. So there is a reading list that you can do if you want, but I mean, ideally, you already know a lot of about screenwriting, but the idea is to just be fed with the workshop you need in order to complete this goal, which is the pilot and the big pitch. So what else I was going to say? Yeah, so in that sense, for me, worked really well because I studied screenwriting. I studied 5 years of screenwriting before, but I wasn't trained by it. And I had experience in film set, but I didn't have the actual experience. So for me, it was just like making everything happen properly, like officially, and having the confidence to sit down in a writer's room, know how to work with beats, know how to develop scene. And something else that I think it's amazing is that, you know, like all the knowledge about screenwriting stays there because it's like we work with acts, we know how to open a scene, blah, blah, blah. But the focus of this program is really what is different from film to series. Like it's a total different mindset in that sense. And this for me was like kind of, I knew, but it wasn't kind of hazy. I didn't know exactly why. But from the beginning of the course, this is always said, like, why this is a film, why this is not a film. And, you know, the difference between plot and story and how, yeah, the differences between writing for 2 hours or writing for an indefinite thing that can go on forever.
And plus really the training aspect, because this is what we say, it's really experiencing the writer's room to learn the different roles, to be, so the big difference between being a staff writer and being a head writer. Maybe you can share your experience on this, Cassiano. You were aware of these big differences in the roles you can have in TV series?
Yeah, so this was also amazing because for me it was almost very similar to be staff writer and head writer. Well, very similar in a way because obviously head writer knows a lot more. But yeah, you understand that it's a very different position and you experience that and you talk about that. So during our experience, there's always like a mentor together that we exchange in the middle of the experience or of the writers' rooms. Your impressions, and you are fed with what we should change, how you're feeling. Yeah, so that was very interesting as well. Yeah.
And
what else?
Tons of feedback, how to give feedback, how to get feedback. This is a very big topic. And I think you get really a lot of feedback.
Yeah, I think also that's a big difference from like someone who comes from long format as feature film and TV, because TV there is, and we exercise that, I think, because we are 12 and we are always pitching and commenting on the other's stories, how to leave your ego like on the back seat and really take in, and because it's we're all together in, I mean, if it's commercial, right? Like writing for TV is commercial, and that's the big difference. If you're very stubborn and you want to push just what you have in mind, regardless if like the other 13 people in the room are not understanding, that's also not very good course for you, I guess.
And in terms of the group, you said 12 people are selected. The average of their age and their training in writing, you said people has to know to write. Cassiano mentioned he had studied for 5 years. Usually people who are part of the group who are selected, what are the average of their knowledge, their age, or their, it's important to have a credit, but only 1 credit, or could be 10 credits to be credited in a series, for example? What if you can mention about some?
Yeah, so it's every year it's like a casting. So it's important to say they're every time good looking. So this is criteria number 1. And nice people, criteria number 2. No, so the experience, it varies. So it's every year it's a little bit different, but so last year we had a very wide range from mid-20 to end 40, but this was really extreme. So this year it's not that extreme. It's, I would say, from end 20s to mid 40s. So most of them are somewhere in the, because it goes with the what we ask for. So it's logical that you have a certain age to have some credits. You can't have, so you can be lucky with having your first experience with the early 20s, but this is not so usual. And yeah, so it's, and the experience, it's different, but we keep an eye on that it's not too different, because then it's different to find a good pace for the process and the whole program. So this is what we take care of when selecting the people that we have. We don't extend a certain span of experience, because then it doesn't work. So then it will be always too fast for the ones and too slow for the others. So we have, this is what we are have an eye on. But so diversity, so not only in genders and nationalities, but also experiences. It's, on the other hand, it's very motivating and is really nurturing the creative process. So it's always a individual mixture every year.
Right. So
we had, so for example, last year we had a participant. She was from South Africa and she had no fiction writing experience, but she wrote for some years and game. She came from the games sector, and really social games that have really kind of storytelling. So she had a lot of experience in this collaborative writing, and she adapted very well and very quickly, but she didn't came from series writing or fictional writing.
Great.
Maybe I can also add that my main background wasn't on writing, was on directing, and I always wanted to do this transition. And although I went to study screenwriting on my own, I think this was crucial to make that transition like official and get to know people and be confident to actually say I am also a screenwriter. So I think that's also a possibility for people who want to do that kind of transition, because like directing, editing is all kind of screenwriting, but it's not. So I think that applies for people who come also from editing, from directing, I guess.
Mm. Yeah.
And in terms of the language, whenever you have to write and write and write and talk, so English must be, almost a native speaking and writing. How do you feel, Cassiano, in terms of language? Because it's not easy. We know how it can be a barrier. How do I say in English, barreira?
Barrier, yeah.
Barrier, yeah.
Yeah, it's super intense. English needs to be very good, but also the amount of hours that you have to be paying attention, because it's constantly people telling their ideas in like super fast, and you have to feedback. So it's the whole day you have to be super focused. That's also a reason why it's very hard to accommodate other work, because in the end of the day, you are completely destroyed. So that the mind activity is just immense. So yes, I think it's very important to have not to rely on a language that it's not, you're not, maybe if you want to apply, come before, go elsewhere, and just make sure that you're comfortable with like working with English like, in a very comfortable way, let's say.
Yeah.
We're going to open for questions, but before, Katrin, if you could like summarize. Let's suppose I want to apply. Should I apply? If is it for me? If, and it's not for me. If. Do you think you can give us some points?
So it's for you if you have already some experience in commercial writing and also film writing, and if there's really this very last step to enter into TV serial writing, because so if you have no serial writing experience, so this could be the move into this world of really being a staff writer on somebody else's show. If you already have some years maybe of experience, then the program could help you really make this step to what does it mean to be a head writer, really to develop your own idea, not only on a few pages, but really to dive into the core of your serial idea and to be a head writer. And it's not for you if you have difficulties to work in a team. If you feel more comfortable on your own, then this will be difficult, not only for the program, because you're with others. So for the first 5-6 months, so in the second semester, there's more writing time, but nevertheless, you're in constant exchange with your classmates and with the tutors. And the job itself, the TV writing industry, it's completely collaborative, so you won't be on your own ever again. So and if you are and if you have difficulties to get feedback, to share it, to translate it, to incorporate it in your work, then that it will be difficult, because TV writing, it's all about sharing, like Cassiano said, leave your ego behind. So you have to be open-minded in every moment and to share your thoughts and to receive feedback and to translate it into action. So these are the two ideas, I would say.
Great. Now questions. Hello, everybody who are, hello, Danilo, go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, thank you very much, Katrin, for your speech and to answer already like some questions that I had in mind. I have a particular question regarding the letter of recommendation, because I'm not sure, because my experience is also with directing and writing, but more in long feature films and advertisement. I have something that I already wrote for TV series, but if I'm gonna ask a producer to write, I would like to know, for your point of view, it's better for me to select a producer that I work in writing for him or her, or can be somebody that I used to work like in other areas in audiovisual, not only writing. What do you think it's better?
It's difficult, but so letter of recommendation. So it's basically to make sure that people have already experience in professional relations and that there is really somebody who is willing to speak out. So the letter of recommendation, so it's a person who should really talk a little about what your attitude is, because really in TV writing, so talent, it's maybe 20 or 30% of the job. You know, the much bigger part of the job is craft. And so you need somebody who explains, so I worked with this person and this person is acting professional. So able to keep deadlines very clear and communication. So we worked together. And so this is the idea behind the letter of recommendation, not to tell us, so, or he's so nice, we had tons of fun. Yes, nice to have, but so you need somebody who's willing to explain, no, so your professional attitude. So this is what counts, because like I said, we don't have the time, and this program is not made for teaching writing. And the same, we are not there to teach professional behavior. We talk a lot about these issues because film and TV industry, it's different, and it's important to know, but it's really the professional background which should be reliable.
Okay,
So
thank you.
if you have the more intense exchange with somebody, maybe in another, so if it's for other genres, but you really worked together, and that there is no better if it's in TV or film writing than another. It's really more the quality of your work.
Vilma wrote a question here. The letter of recommendation can be by an organization. I mean, I understand, instead of a professional. Vilma, is that not a person, but an organization?
There again, it's the question what the organization would prove or talk about. So I don't have an idea what organization this could be.
Okay. And Gisela is asking, is it possible to get a student visa with the program?
It's a good question, maybe for Flavia, who is
Yeah.
Yes. It depends on the country where you come from. We supported students in the past and provided documents for the embassies and all the different offices they have to go through. We cannot intercede for you at the embassy. We can just provide you for documents, and we do support you, but eventually it comes to the relationship between the state where you come from and Germany. If you are recognized as a student, you can get a student visa. We provide all the information that the embassy requires, but it depends a lot. And I do know the specific case for Brazil, I have to admit.
Okay. Thank you, Flavia. Vilma asked about the organization, the question about the organization. There are like associations here in Brazil that represent writers and professionals. If I can say something, I understand that the letter of recommendation, it's someone who has worked with you, you working. And Vilma, maybe those associations, they know about what you do and how you do, but they never work like, they were not in a writer's room with you or writing a film. Not sure if it's clear, Gisela, what will be the final product? All the participants will go home with a Bible from their own series?
Yes, exactly. So it's what we call a full pitch deck, which means a Bible, which is a document written 5 to 10 pages, maybe with artwork, and a full pilot script in at least 2 drafts, plus another show that you develop with 1 or 2 other people. So you have a second mini Bible, which is a little bit shorter, 3 to 5 pages, an idea. And so this is the second project you develop in the second semester, following a brief from our industry partners, and with the aim, with the idea that this development will be maybe optioned at the end of the program. So this is a pilot project we started this year, and we know more in summer if this worked out. So last year we did a little with one project, we tested, and they had they got an option for this mini Bible. They worked out, and they're now developing this with one company. So this is the idea we had this year. We had 5 groups, and in different constellations, developing a second series idea.
Great. Do the series sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I see the question here.
Okay.
Has to be from, no, you can analyze something from your own country or from another country, but should explain what's it about a little, so that we can see and understand something about the interpretation and the analysis of the format, but we don't have to know it.
And Cassiano, if you can give us some tips for the application process, because it was not the first time you applied, the one you were selected. And regarding the letter of invitation, letter of motivation, and also the synopsis, we share with the application projects. I mean, you have learned in the process, applying. So if you can share tips and recommendations.
I think that I'm not sure. I think what happened was a natural evolution, because when I did my second interview with Katrin, it was really nice because she remembered me from the previous year, and she knew how my CV evolved. So from one year to the other, I had directed a series for Netflix, so she was really interested in that. And I think a combination of everything I do, as she said, it's a casting, so everyone kind of feels, I think what you're looking is like a nice combination where people can feed from each other, like different backgrounds, different styles, different genres. When we start on the first day, we talk about ourselves, but we also talk about our favorite genres to work on. And I think this is a very nice mixture. So I think my tip would be, I really as I applied, I really made it more carefully. I really made sure that everything was really nicely done and coherent. And I think my work improved as well. Like my writing improved. I think I submitted a better sample of writing. I think it's, I don't know what else really. Maybe if someone has any specific question, I can remember something else. Yeah.
It's always better when we have questions. Questions?
I have 2 questions, if I can, regarding what Cassiano just said. how thought out were your ideas that you submitted? Because we know that, you know, sometimes these things change, or if you can have one idea in the application and then come up with something else and start the program and decide to write a different TV project, how developed were your ideas when you applied?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, they were not that developed. They were actually, when we applied, well, what we heard from Serial Eyes with what we applied was that we were applying with feature film ideas. And that was exactly the point of the so it was more like a very short treatment. And I think also because, I don't know how is this year, but last year was, you kind of had to break it down in 4 acts, which is very good to know if the person who is applying has the notion of acts, but also it kind of makes it look like a feature film, because, and you know, you apply the acts more to episodes rather than the whole concept of a series. But it wasn't developed at all. It was a short treatment. It was like I think I had the idea, I compressed it, but I had like a 5-page text. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so maybe 2 points. So there are people who developed as their individual project with something they applied with, but this is not so. This is up to you. You can. So the only thing we ask people not to come with something half developed than to finish it with Serial Eyes. We really ask people to start from the scratch, because we want to go through the whole process of creating. So the project you're, as an example, so it's not so much the question how developed it is in the depth. It's really more what we are looking on is what we can see of the understanding of serious storytelling, you know, of how an ensemble is set up, how, if there is an interesting theme, is there, Cassiano will support me. So we are talking a lot about serial engine, what this really is. And because this is coming from film, this is really something very specific. So you will learn and talk and think of this. But so this is, it's really more the setup. So if it's a fresh idea and if there is room for developing a series out of it, and not so much the question if the document is really fully nicely developed, every little side character. It's really more that we can see what is your understanding in creating a serial cosmos of a
Okay. So if I can, I have another question just about,
Sure.
more specifically about the inscription. There's a section here that says scholarship application letter. I don't know if this is regarding the school or Paradiso, or if Brazilians specifically should not write anything in this section.
No, we have, so if these are 2 kinds of scholarships. So if Paradiso is providing a scholarship, but Serial Eyes itself, we provide 3 scholarships every year.
Okay.
So in former times, this was meant for what we call low capacity countries in Europe, but this is over, so everybody can ask for the scholarship. And this is why we ask you to describe in a letter why you need it. So basically to get to know, because there are people, some people, it's nice to have for everybody. But for others, it's really, if I won't get it, I can't make it. So this is an important aspect for us to decide. And So a little bit explaining what is the situation and why it's crucial to have this scholarship.
So just to clarify, we can apply for both. We can have Paradiso and also apply for a scholarship in Syria Eyes.
Interesting question, because both are so the scholarship, it's this 4,500, that would be the cost for the
Oh, it's for the
program.
tuition. Okay. It's not like help with living costs or anything like that.
No,
Okay, so
it's for the tuition.
okay. So we don't need to apply because we would have Paradiso pay for it.
Maybe you can apply, because in the case there are 2 Brazilian selectors or 3, then the school can decide that one goes to Paradiso scholarship and the other one goes to their scholarship. That's it.
Yeah. So it would be worth in any case to have this letter, and then we would decide. I didn't thought it through, but the idea of somebody getting 2 scholarships doesn't sound
doesn't make
that
sense,
fair to me.
Yeah.
No.
So we would then be in exchange and contact. Yes, sure. We think of giving the scholarship to somebody who could really to give a chance to somebody who could not do it without it.
Yeah,
Of course.
but
Thank
Victor, you mentioned regarding cost of living and other costs in Berlin. Berlin is not a cheap city. It's very expensive.
This is really yeah, very sensible point, because this changed a lot in the 10 years that the program is running. This changed a lot. It's really an investment. So it's not only the tuition, it's really the living in Berlin. It's a fight. And this is another reason why we take care really to find people where we think, at least, who will have really a benefit, a concrete benefit out of it. Because if not, it's a huge investment of time and money you do. You're away for 8 months. You can't really seriously work, and you have to pay for living in a foreign country. So it's a huge invest.
Yeah, it's something to take in account, because we had other scholarships in other countries, and it was a huge point of attention, because you cannot work. You cannot work for Brazil because there's no time enough, and it's hard, and then people get into a problem in terms of living. It's complicated, so have this on mind before applying as well.
If I can ask another question and just ask Cassiano to talk a little bit about that, like how much do you think you should be prepared to spend monthly based on your experience? And I'm done. Thank you.
I was thinking about that. I think at least 1,500 on top of the scholarship. Like if there is a scholarship, great. If you're paying for it on top of the fee, yeah, I think at least, right? I think maybe 1,700, I don't know, to live in Berlin. Like then, like taking into consideration that you would rent a room, not your own flat, and you would leave, because once you are a student, there's also a lot of benefits, because your transport is covered, and you can eat in a student canteen, which I do, and it's super cheap. There are many things that help, but still, because housing is very difficult as well, maybe you will have to pay more just to be able to find a place, and then you have to be covered in that sense. You might end up spending less with housing, but I mean, it's not 100% safe to be on the limit.
Yeah, and that's not easy. We are almost, Ana Durães, I think we mentioned this, Ana. Can the writing sample be a full-length script written together with a writing partner? Katrin, you would like to comment, please?
Yes, so this is because our main funding it's from Creative Europe. So it's European money that runs our program. So this is the reason why most of the people are from Europe, but we opened up every year to people from outside Europe and didn't get punished for that. So we keep on working on that.
Yeah, and then the previous one about the sample, the writing sample. Can the writing sample be a full-length script written together with a writing partner?
Yes, we had this question already. I said it in this one case. I don't know if this question came from your side. It was that both co-writers were applying to. So as an exception, yes, but normally a writing sample is something to get an impression on the writing skills of an individual writer. So if you have co-written something, we can't really know if it's good or if it's bad. So we can't decide if it's really the individual person. So I made this exception once, but I would not make it as a rule.
Okay, we are almost finishing. If someone would like to make other questions, I have two very short questions, Katrin. One, when I met Flavia at Bernilari, we are talking about the participation at Series Mania, for example, and it's covered by the program. Could you just detail what are the activities at the event? What the participants do during Series Mania? They meet, they pitch. What are the activities in this event?
It's basically really taking part, visiting, seeing the panels and show. So they have access to, so they will know, and this is what they're preparing now, to get to know who will be there, and you have the chance to get meetings and try to meet people. But we have no organized pitch session at Series Mania. So because we have our own pitching session at the end of the program. But so we meet people from, we meet a person from Canal Plus, and they get a super brief elevator pitch because they want to get to know the people. And we have one meeting with one of our industry partners. But basically it's really being there and organize meetings on their own. Other thing, when we are in London in fall, in November normally, so there is a schedule where we arrange, where we meet people, writers, producers, agents, and get to know the marketplace of the UK.
Great, nice experience. Now my last question is not about Zero Eyes. I'm not sure if you or Flavia could answer that. It's about the short program that you have, and that's open now, and it's online. And if I'm not wrong, there is no fee. So if you just can say some words about that, because maybe if people here realize or decide or think that Serialize is not the right program for this moment, but maybe they could try another one, and this one that is online, of course, much more cheaper. So, and if you can tell us something about it and the program.
Yeah. So Flavia knows more about the program
Oh,
of the short form.
The name of the program is Diverse Storytelling in Digital Short Form Series. This is a very specific format, which is the main difference compared to Serialize, where we focus on, series. The program is pretty short compared to Serialize. It's only 8 weeks. It's completely online, and it's for free. So you don't pay any fee, and you can learn from Corinne Leong and other speakers and writers how to develop your own digital short form series. It has a focus on diverse storytelling. So some of the speakers are have been involved in series which deal with different minority or different storylines or different groups of people. And the application round is closing in 10 days, so you do not have a lot of time. But you can definitely send your application to the email address, which you already know from Serialize, and then I will get back to you.
Great.
But you can add some more information, Katrin, if you want.
No, but so this is.
She's also teaching in the program.
Yeah, so I'm providing this lecture or something, but it's but I'm only a guest, so I'm not running the program. And
I think it was nice to take this opportunity to share about the short program with them, because maybe it could be interesting for some. I put in the chat the link for this information. Thank you, Flavia, and if they have any questions about that, they can get in touch.
I'm writing my email address as well in the chat, so in case you guys don't have it yet, you can get it from there.
Great. And the deadline of applications for Serialize program is April 8th, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay. So, Katrin and Cassiano, is there anything that you would like to add that we didn't mention, something that you think it's important and we forgot? I don't know.
No, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's so maybe one question you should ask yourself, because people have different motivations. So the one are coming with the aim really to enter European TV industry. So there, then it's really more the question about your English skills or German even. And the other direction is people who are doing the program to go back to their country to share their experience there and to influence the processes and the industry in your home country. I think this is only something I recognize. So these are different approaches and targets. So Cassiano lived already in Berlin. So this made some things, I think, a little bit easier. But we had people who really went through the program because they were working on a very concrete project and really took the knowledge and the experience of Serialize and to implement it in their own projects in their home country. So, but these are really different motivations to do the program.
Cassiano?
Yeah. On top of all the knowledge that the workshop offers, there is this gateway into the market. So if the person is interested in breaking through the European market. It's amazing. Even the UK, the trip to London, we just meet so many incredible executives and agents and everything. So this is also an extra bonus for people who want to explore.
And last but not least, really to find co-writers, you know, to get to know people, to find people to work together with. And it's not only the actual class you're in, you're really entering the Serial Eyes family, which has now at the moment, close to 120 alumni. And they exchange and they work together because they know if I'm doing this or that, I know the people from Serial Eyes, they work like I do. They have the same method, the same understanding. And so this is really a strong network too.
Great. Thank you very much, Flavia. Is there anything you would like to add? No?
No,
Okay.
all good. Looking forward to read your applications.
So
Another thing is nice idea. So we could do, Cassiano, we could do a workshop in Brazil. So I'm very open to travel. Very open.
but that's a good idea. You know what, Katrin? I was curious about Series Mania because we did it last year. Series Mania, they did the first workshop outside France in Rio.
Don't mention Series Mania Institute. I'm so jealous of all this
but
stuff
then
they're doing. I want to do that too. So let us talk about exchange on that side.
Of course, we can exchange because in a way, that's a way Paradiso can support and contribute with more professionals because we have place only for one scholarship. But if you come to Brazil, we can reach more people and it's different. And let's talk definitely. Yeah.
So
and there is sorry, Katrin.
No, so it's from, so there is space and from now, because the kids are writing their pilots and during summer, so there is space, and I think it's could be interesting exchange.
Right.
So
let's keep in touch.
Let's stay in touch.
Say there is the Verilux. It's a kind of script residency, right, for TV series. The Verilux. It happens, I think, it's in Rio, so it's something that is very successful. That could be also a competitor. Everyone needs a competitor to keep raising the bar.
That's true. That's true. So I'd like to thank you very much, Katrin and Cassiano and Flavia, for joining us, for sharing everything. And I wish good luck to all of you here who would like to apply or get to know more. And
yes, so you can always reach out to us, to Flavia and me. We will be happy to answer your question. And so maybe, see the one or the other of you in interviews, which will take place in June.
Great. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.